You've checked the door. You checked the windows. You even checked the lock on the chest beneath your bed. You feel secure. But a true huntsman of the urban wild knows that security is an evolutionary illusion. While you were watching the door, they were becoming the wall. While you were counting your coin, they were counting your heartbeats. Tonight, we open the ledger to the most successful survivor in history. Tonight, we study the rogue. The common folk, secure in the bright safety of their walls, define the threat by which they can see. The dragon's fire, the orc's axe, the sorcerer's crackling spell. They build their watchtowers and they sharpen their spears, waiting for an enemy at the gate. But a true tracker, a weathered adventurer of this world, knows that the deadliest organism is rarely the largest. The species that has survived and thrived in every corner of our world, from the deepest caverns to the highest courts, is not a monster. It is a philosophy, a shadow, the survivor, the rogue. We do not study them as a soldier studies an enemy. We study them as a predator studies its prey. But with the unsettling knowledge that in this ecosystem, the predator is also the most highly specialized prey. To truly understand the rogue, we must leave the bright light of moral certainty behind and follow them where they are most comfortable, the gray area. We begin our study by stripping away the myth. The popular view of the rogue is a simplistic binary, the pickpocket and the assassin. This is an egregious error. The rogue is not a criminal, they are a responder. They represent the specialized evolutionary response to a universe that has failed to provide. If you trace their origins, they all spring from a single root: necessity. Rogues do not seek the direct assault because direct assault is the language of the privileged, those who have the armor to absorb a blow and the legal standing to deliver one. The ancestors of the thief was a parent with a starving family. The ancestor of the ninja was a soldier who valued their life more than their honor. What binds this diverse class of people into a single class is their unique environmental adaptation. The rogue is a passive sensory net. While a fighter focuses on the weapon in your hand, a rogue is tracking your center of gravity, the shifting of your eyes, the dust motes moving in a hidden draft. They don't just see the room, they map its vulnerabilities. This is accentuated with proficiencies in insight, investigation, and perception. Their entire philosophy is designed for the conservation of energy. Why deliver 10 blows if one will suffice? They are patient. They do not attack until the exact vector of least resistance presents itself. This is the origin of the field term sneak attack. It is not a cowardly act. It is the natural consequence of predatory efficiency. This blow is delivered with the use of acrobatics, intimidation, and stealth. A rogue views the world as a toolbox. A hairpin is a key. A roofline is a highway. Their survival depends not on their personal power, but on their ability to manipulate the variables of their habitat, surviving through athletics, deception, persuasion, sleight of hand. With these three factors align, you get an individual who can walk into a fortress, steal the crown jewels, and leave the guards arguing about whether the door was ever actually open. This leads to the most common question I am asked. Are rogues naturally evil? This question is a fundamental error. It's like asking if a spider is naturally evil for weaving a web. The rogue operates on a different moral dynamic, not black and white, but a profound and absolute gray. To a rogue, the law is merely a terrain feature, as objective and non-moral as a river or a cliff. It is something to be crossed, navigated, or used for cover. A rogue does not break a law out of spite. They find a weakness in the law's structure and exploit it. They are moral hydro-engineers, finding the leak in the dam. There are two distinct archetypes of predation within the rogue species, the symbiote and the parasite. The symbiotic rogue understands the value of balance. This is your professional's thief guild, your urban scout, or your spy for the crown. They do not kill the host, they only harvest. They take enough wealth to survive, but they ensure the ecosystem remains intact. They live within the system that they exploit. The parasitic rogue, however, has no interest in tomorrow. They are your freelance assassins, your cutthroats, your lone actors. They take what they want, and they kill when convenient. They destroy their own habitat, often moving from one city to the next, a biological blight of sorts. As naturalists, we must be careful. While you cannot condone the violence of the cutthroat, we must admire the sheer efficiency of the organism. A world without rogues would be a world frozen in hierarchy, a world where the strong take whatever they wish and the weak have no recourse. The rogue is the dangerous, beautiful, and necessary proof that the weak can still kill the strong. Now we observe the specific adaptations of the archetype. Like any successful organism, the rogue has branched out to fill every niche. While their common core remains, their tools, methods, and cultures vary widely. Let us examine key archetypes. Within the urban sprawl, we find a rare and fascinating archetype, the arcane trickster. While most rogues rely on the physical laws of gravity and friction, the trickster has learned to pilfer the laws of reality itself. They are not wizards. They lack the academic patience for the tower. Instead, they are the magpies of the weave. They snatch up fragments of enchantment and illusion that others have left behind, refining them into a specialized kit of magical lockpicks. Their most notable ability is the Mage Hand Legerdemain. The rogue has decoupled their reach from their anatomy. They can pick a pocket from 10 paces away or disarm a trap while standing safely around a corner. It is the ultimate expression of the rogue's philosophy: maximum result, zero personal risk. Their fighting style relies on sensory misdirection. They usually use illusions not to create new worlds, but to subtly edit the current one. A silent image of an empty hallway, a disguised self to vanish into a crowd. They don't hide in the shadows. They create a shadow where none existed. When you encounter an arcane trickster, remember, do not trust your eyes. They are the only predator that can rob you blind while looking you straight in the face from across the street. The thief is the foundation of the rogue. They are the most environmentally integrated of all rogues. While others seek power or blood, the thief seeks the flow. They view the physical world not as a series of obstacles, but as a fluid landscape designed for their transit. In the wild, they are the mountain goats of the city. Gravity is merely a suggestion they have learned to politely decline. Their hallmark adaptation is fast hands. While a normal class requires a moment of focus to interact with an object, the thief does so as a reflexive byproduct of movement. To catch them is to catch the wind. By the time you realize your pocket is light, the thief is already 3 rooftops away, merging with the skyline. If the thief is a scavenger, the assassin is the pure predator. They have stripped away the rogue's curiosity and replaced it with a singular, grim efficiency. They do not seek wealth, they seek the cessation of life. In the wild, we see animals that mimic their surrounding to avoid being eaten. The assassin mimics their surrounding to ensure they are the last thing their prey ever sees. Their primary ability is assassinate. They operate on a timescale measured in milliseconds. If they catch a target surprised, a field term for a failure of natural instinct, their strike is mathematically certain to be lethal. They don't just hit, they end the conversation. We observe a fascinating behavioral anomaly, the swashbuckler. Most rogues survive by being forgotten. The swashbuckler survives by being impossible to ignore. They are the peacocks of the predator world, using flair, charisma, and sheer audacity to overwhelm the senses of their prey. They do not hide in the shadows. They make the light so bright that you cannot see the blade coming. Their primary adaptation is rakish audacity. They have weaponized their own confidence. A swashbuckler does not need an ally to distract their foe. Their own presence is distraction enough. They turn every combat into a private duel, isolating the strongest member of a pack and dismantling them with a smile. Finally, we observe the most alien archetype, the soul knife. This rogue has bypassed the need for steel entirely. Why carry a blade that can be found by a guard when you could forge one from the raw energy of your own mind? They are the ghosts. They leave no physical evidence, no puncture wounds, no blood, only a heart that is simply stopped. Their psychic blades are the ultimate evolutionary tool. They manifest at the moment of intent and dissipate at the moment of impact. Because the blade is made of thought, it ignores physical armor, striking directly at the neural pathways and organs of their prey. These archetypes show us that the rogue is not defined by their crime, but by their specialization. They are a class that survives by any means necessary. These are not the only archetypes you will encounter. Let us know in the comments if I didn't cover your most loved or most hated, and we might do a deep dive. You cannot out-stealth a rogue. You cannot outfight a rogue. And you absolutely cannot out-trap a rogue in their own territory. The first rule of this encounter is this: the trap is your enemy. If you find a tripwire or a pressure plate, you have not found the rogue's trap. You have simply found their distractor. While you disarm the decoy, the needle in the clock, the poisoned floor, the collapsing ceiling, the rogue will find you. A rogue maps a room for escape routes and vulnerabilities. They create a perfect, logical flow of movement. Your goal is to disrupt that flow with something illogical. Place a guard's rest station where it has no right to be. Introduce a visual element, like an unusual smell or a misplaced object, that forces the rogue to hesitate, to question their own memory. This is their true moment of weakness. But my best advice is simple. If you find yourself hunting a master rogue in a place they consider home, well, run. They've already won. We close this chapter on the rogue, not with judgment, but with appreciation. We do not fear them, and we do not judge them. We observe them as we observe all essential forces of our world. They are the necessary counterweight. For every king who is too powerful, for every bank that is too safe, and for every dungeon that is too deep, the universe will generate a responder. The shadow is a sign that there is light. The lock is a sign that there is desire. The rogue is the proof that as long as one person has something and another person needs it, the hunt will always begin. If you enjoyed this breakdown, let us know with a comment, like, or subscribe. Good night, adventurers, and safe hunting.